Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Wonders 4. Last time we finished off by picking up the Tome of Dragons, and I asked you if you wanted me to pick up the Draconian transformation, the new major race transformation in Age of Wonders 4 Dragon Dawn, or if you wanted me to become undead dragons, and you voted overwhelmingly in favor of taking Draconian transformation, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will note that I actually picked up this tome last time and selected the Young Dragon Research. We will instead go straight for this transformation. And as I zoom out a little bit, you might notice just a couple of subtle differences. Reason being, I actually had to replay the last episode in between sessions due to an error with the save file. My bad. Mostly everything's the same. I've tried to declare war on the same people, build the same buildings where I can. It's not 100% perfect, like Gore Pit, for example, is slightly larger than it was, big boy. But apart from that, everything is mostly in keeping. I've tried to keep it as authentic as I can. You'll note that this authentic pain in my backside still persists, with burnt ruins across the land, as our newly picked up city is completely infested. We are at war with this person down south, and looks like they're not going especially hot right now. Their city-state soul is at war with us too. And otherwise, we're in a reasonable position, with an ally right next door. The turn is, of course, turn 48. So let's jump straight back in, where we left off. Draconian transformation, you will be mine. In terms of the actual cities themselves, like I say, hopefully not really too much has changed. So we're just going to keep going with the same game plan. Game plan being, build up an army large enough here to clear this out, and then focus in on what victory conditions we'd like. The development tree too, maybe just slightly different, but I've tried to pick up what we had before, around the edges anyway. So we're looking at a pretty good position. Not yet confident that it's entirely the winning spot, but we're at least in pretty good stead. Like, what have we got over here? 10, 15... Okay, underground. We don't really know a lot about the underground. That's okay. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to it. And we're doing not too bad at picking up some of these special plants and liquids as well. Good. I'd quite like to get the overall bonus secured though. So let's try and focus on that as we move through. And we have space for an additional hero who would like to join the team. It is of course going to be Loslot Buckblood. What a terrible name. I mean, Nature Adept could be better. We are sort of a nature-y type of people. This unit has +3 nature affinity. When governing a city, the Empire gains +3 nature affinity. Yeah. That kind of feels OP. Really? 3 affinity? So, Kai Thundermore goes there. Yeah. Wow. Wow, okay, sure. And also we have some dude in our crypt, so we're going to sell him to take his gear, because of course, the star of the show has always been and still remains Thelma. Here she is. And as we know, she makes money off of gear that's just kind of sitting around, not really doing much. Although we could actually equip some of this stuff. You inflicts double morale penalties when killing an enemy. That sounds fantastic. And what have we got here? Wand of Healing. Sure. She's got a wand in each hand now, and she doesn't even have hands. Fantastic. So she's making 57 gold and 57 mana, thanks to Artifact Horde, which is, of course, the new trait, and then Dragon Horde, which is, of course, associated with the new Dragon Leaders. She's costing us 30 bucks and 7 mana. So actually, she's earning her keep. And of course she is, because look at that tiny little tail. Go you. There's a call to war against Sanguine here. We don't really benefit massively from it. Last time we were at war with 2 different players. This froggy just didn't want to go to war with me this time. Very evil. That's fine. They were far away and it was inconsequential anyway. I'm not sure that we want to fight Sanguine though. I might decide that later, and by that I mean pretend to decide it later. This guy wants peace. I'm not sure that we do. I mean, we're not necessarily going after them at the moment, but also the war was kind of generating me a little bit of extra Imperium, which is always nice. I don't really feel a need to end it right now. What I do feel a need to end is this monstrosity. And we have, again, an army that should be roughly in keeping with last time, although better gathered together. Also, I completely overlooked the fact that this guy could have had a Frost Wyvern mount, which is just so in theme with what we're trying to do here. Helm of the Warrior, melee attacks, deal 10% extra damage. Okay, well, you're going to have to take a crossbow off if you want to do that, though. Here you go. Use a smoldering axe instead. I think that's fine. The rest of these are two-handed, so of course we'll leave them off. Yeah, you're looking cool. You're a cool dude. Alright, message received. This is the call to war. Friendship. I'm just gonna say goodbye and walk away from that. No, thank you. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm busy over here clearing an infestation. And actually, let's make that our priority now, because we're reasonably well consolidated in this area. And I mean, this is quite threatening. Don't be fooled by these wide open arms. This is a threat. This is a threat to our existence. And they've just pooped out the fuel of nightmares. God, you ugly. Okay. Stuff over this side of the world doesn't matter to me. We do actually have this city-state. We could hoover them up. It's not entirely out of the question. Trading mana for food is also quite nice. We have a lot of mana. Let's trade mana for food. That way we can grow a little bit faster. And we're not really using the mana, so it doesn't particularly matter. Bloodguard, you should get us a Scholars Guild. I want to be the most knowledgeable person. I want to get through this research and grab all of these dragon unlocks as fast as I can. And as I scroll through the province improvements, I can't help but think that the Wyvern Eyrie is great. Unlocks the production of various Wyvern units. Alignment influences which ones can be drafted. It also provides 10 knowledge, 5 draft per adjacent farm province too. We also have the seeds to contend with. If we want to go down this victory route, we'll need to start building them. But even if we don't, the minus 20% cost for research, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I might queue up one of these, actually. And probably place it down. Smack bang. There. Sorry, Quarry. You've been fired. You're fired. Okay, anyway. Up here at Gore Pit, the new and improved, granted, just a little bit, Gore Pit, let's just get the basic infrastructure. Vendor, workshop, can't go wrong with a little bit of money, and a little bit of production. And I declined the call to war because I basically just didn't answer the phone. Hello! Hello! And I just completely ignored them. Here's our new dude, completely in the nude. So let's give you a chest plate, a dorky little helmet that you're literally just not even going to put on your head because it's so hideous. Nothing, sure. Heavy gauntlets, okay. Oh, and surely a better sword. So it doesn't especially matter what we chuck on here. I guess we don't have a magical dude yet. But then none of this gear really fits very well with that. So take the Blood Edge instead. Two-handed weapon. Yes, please. And then there's one army who doesn't have a leader. It's this one. So probably down there. But actually, I think we should just start to move on some of this stuff. If we get wave assaulted, it's going to be a little bit painful. And they will randomly trigger fights with me, right? Because they're sort of like Civ's barbarians, in that they'll attack us, rather than, say, like these dudes, who will just kind of stand there for all of eternity until we go and fight them. So, again, I'm going to try and just sort of move a little bit closer, get a few to fly over and fight me, but hopefully not literally, you know, every single one in some sort of crazy wave assault type thing. That would be a little bit problematic. Oh, hello. What have we got here? Nature boon, draft is blocked, and all cities gain stability. Or we can get a shy librarian into our recruitment pool. You look pretty good. I think we'll take the shy librarian. Not just because their name is a very funny play on words. Gore Pit's going to extend out now and grab this silver tongue fruit. 10 food, 10 draft. Another research post. Why not? It's becoming a city full of nerds, so we might as well lean into that. Out here in the development tree, do we want anything kind of spicy? Throne? Nah. I don't think so. Nothing's really jumping out at me. Even some of the stuff over here. I mean, okay, fine. We'll get natural recovery. Useful if we're going to be doing a bit of fighting around these edges. And, as expected, they did attempt some sort of wave assault, but it was kind of weak in that they didn't all come over. These two decided to stay by the Astral Rift. So, what have we got? 639, a measly 200, and then 450. We outclassed that, definitely. Actually, this dude really outclasses it. Turns out an army full of wild speakers is the way to go. Alright, let's get a little salamandery thing out. Put the hero in. And, Thelma, I think it's time for you to lead the troops into war. It absolutely is at 2100 to 1314. In fact, that's an auto-resolve right there if I've ever seen one. The most aggressive clip of my life. And it was incredibly successful, of course, because we can kind of reanimate these dudes if they perish. And in general, I think we have quite a bit of... Ooh, oh, the conjure animal. Very helpful. So all of these guys summon in an extra token unit. A little bit of healing around the edges, and then, of course, Thelma's tiny tail. Dragon Breath dealing 28, tail swipe 35. Fantastic. I think we can sort of stand our ground now. If these other ones want to wave assault us, they're welcome to, because I don't think they'll be able to. Okay, so as expected, they did not. They're also out of my area now, so we can start improving all of the crap that they've burnt down over time. And can everybody move in? Do we have enough movement between us? Yes, we do. Brilliant. Let's get in and around this thing. Thelma, as per usual, you will take the lead. Again, it's actually not that close of a fight. Auto-resolve. Auto-success. Oh, a couple of minor gripes around the edges, but by and large, that's wonderful. And also, it looks like it's Christmas morning, especially for a dragon that loves to collect loot and make money from it. A huge cash reward. The Staff of Eniok. During the first 3 turns in combat, a decaying zombie is summoned next to the hero every turn. And it does 26 damage. I love that. A Flow Serpent, which is an ethereal tier 2 unit, okay. Whirlwind Blade, kind of basic, but fairly decent. Lightning Sword, even more basic. And a Battle Axe, fairly basic. But of course, we'll be making a little bit of money off of all of those. The thing that interests me the most is the staff. Obviously, not for you, Thelma. Get out of here. Although Thelma does have an upgrade. We've already got a little bit of health. Raw to buff units. Yeah. Ancient Governor for some extra knowledge in our city. That is quite tempting. Also reducing the cooldown on her attacks. We could make Tail Bash have a chance to stun or displace enemies. Or, at the end of each turn, gain regeneration. These abilities are so good. The Dragon Lord abilities are great. If you're watching out there, don't you dare pick Fighting 1. It's probably fine. You could if you wanted to. I think we're gonna make Thelma a little bit smarter, though. Yeah. Let's get Ancient Governor the second. And we're now also only 1 level away from getting our second key hero skill. And if our basic ones are powerful, those ones are gonna be, or are, very strong. So that's great. Anything else left to do in this city? As I scroll through about a million different things to build. We get Town Hall 3, start to build our Berserker. I'm probably not going to build the Shrine of War God, but it's a reasonable pickup. Let's get the Wyvern Eyrie up in here. Smash down. I'm not too worried about the adjacency bonuses, to be fair. Not really at all. Let's get rid of that farm. Chuck it out there, sort of aggressively on the border of our ally, actually, as it were. I'm sure that won't aggravate them whatsoever. And inside of the development tree, I might just step back from that a little bit for now, I think. And with... Actually, hold the phone. with this basically cleared, clear that out next turn. We've picked up a big floaty boy as well, which is great. You can jump in Thelma's army. Clear that, and then I think we might move to get rid of this guy's outpost from here. Not only because it's a thorn in the south of my blood guard, but also there's a wonder here. And we like wonders because we like loot, we like clearing them out, collecting them, blah blah blah. So I think we might move towards that as our next kind of mini goal. Alrighty, so we finally have Draconian transformation unlocked. Turn the target race into Draconians, which grants them dragon unit types. That'll give us that kind of berserk extra damage when our hit points reach 60% or lower, which is not actually even that low, to be fair. 60% is still relatively high. We'll deal an extra 30% damage. Woof. Natural regeneration. Heal 10% of its maximum hit points as temporary hit points at the end of its turn in combat, though not more than what it started with. Heal 10 hit points at the start of your turn on the world map. Okay, great. And we're immune to fire. This is very good. And unlocked relatively early as well. Although, it is also very expensive. 600 casting points. Are you for real? 10 turns? It is completely unacceptable. What do we have here? This. I want this. This will give me an extra 20 casting points. And we're actually really close to getting it as well. We are just one turn away. Well, that's great. That's really good, actually. We also need to select a new research. I'd love to get the young dragons in here if I could. I'll reroll a few times. There we go. And Thelma, do you want to clear this out, please? Peacefully or aggressively? She asks. Burn them all, I say in reply. Burn them all! And she did just that too. Neat. I've also just remembered that I wanted to put the Staff of Iniok on. So we've chucked it on this guy. We've taken off his chest plate. We've put some robes on. He's also going to get a ring that grants him lifesteal. You're good. Got some resistance. More resistance. Magic attacks deal extra damage. And this huge staff. You could very well be shaping up to be our MVP, Kai Thundermore. And with a last name like Thundermore, it's no surprise. Where are you? Is this you? Yes. Alright. Lead the way, Kai. Actually, you're too slow. Not too slow for Thelma. She's just, she'll catch up. She's just got little legs, alright? Leave her be. Jeez. Do we have space for a little lizard? Yes, we do. Get in there. And now we've got 3 armies of 6. I think we should definitely stomp that outpost. Oh yeah. Defensive pact? It's a deal, green man. Thank you very much. And the world begins to sort of polarize. It's, oh crap, we lost our scout. Okay, well actually this is quite good intel, because we know that he's underground, and that scout has plotted out his capital. Okay. Where is it in relation to us? Right underneath this outpost. Which has got a whole load of crappy units sitting inside of it. You like destroying scouts, do you, buddy? Well, I've got news for you. Thelma's slowly plodding along over this way. I probably shouldn't have sent that army quite that far ahead. There's an underground passage there, so potentially they move up through that and teach me a lesson. Speaking of teaching people lessons, though, let's get casting points, just all the casting points, as fast as we can. That'll speed it up. We're now looking at 7 turns for the Draconian transformation. I'd love to have it online before we got into any really serious conflict. Not just because of its extra healing, but also because of its extra damage when we're at 60%. So, like I said earlier, 60%? Not hard to get down to 60% HP. And 30% extra damage in exchange? I mean, woof. We should also grab Metropolitan Society. Cities that share a border with a throne city gain plus 10%. Bam, that pushed us over 300 knowledge. Because I think everything shares, yeah, everything shares a border with Helheim. You can't get away from Helheim. Sanguine looks like she is probably losing her war. Yep, she's in the void. Okay. Good for you, Sangy. And Gorpit's looking gorgeous. Let's get an academy, lean into the science thing. Got heaps of mana, heaps of gold. The people are pretty unhappy though. Actually, we probably need to just splash a bit of cash, grab Town Hall the second. That will let us... Tavern? Boom. And then tavern into bathhouse. I'm gonna get them drunk, and then make them have baths, which is apparently a treat. Am I the only human being on the face of the earth that doesn't like a bath? It's just a giant porcelain tub with your filthy water inside of it. I'm sorry. And it's kind of uncomfortable. Maybe just too bony, I don't know. What do we got? 575, 595, and 456. You are woefully unprepared, Noctis. And you're only level 3. We've got a 700 strength, a 600 strength, and then a Thelma. Okay. If you want to fight on the beaches, then so be it. Let's kind of aggressively posture into this outpost. In fact, let's just start sieging it for lols. We'll probably waste money by queuing up these things, but I'll queue them up nonetheless. And we'll see if they do a preemptive strike, or if they just kind of hide, or run. I don't think they'll run, though. I rarely see the AI retreat once you've started besieging a city like that. Another call to war against Sanguine. This time it's our green friend. Nah, look, she's too far away. I've got bigger fish to fry right now. I mean, and she's tucked into a corner. Yeah, no, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. I think this is... This posturing threat down south is much more important. So let's pass through the turn. We're now 4 or 5 turns away from our Draconian transformation. Probably not going to quite get it off in time for this fight. Unless these guys just run. Go on. Just flee. Okay, they did nothing. So they're on the defensive. Interesting. I mean, I don't blame them. But I'm not sure what options they're going to have. Helheim, sweet, sweet capital Helheim, what would you like to build? +1 province annex range. Are we at that level? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's boosted. And then we'll also get the wizard tower for the extra Imperium, I think. Just go hard on Imperium. Try and get as much of this tree as possible. Now that it has been nerfed on balance. It has been nerfed on balance. Or at least the start of the tree is a bit slower, so it takes a while to sort of kick into it. Gorpit is quickly becoming the star of the show. Let's give it a farm up here on these pasteurized milk. On these sheep, I mean to say. And then everything's kind of good enough. Yeah, queuing up some stuff. I'm not training units at the moment. Don't think we quite need to. This has got 2 turns to go. A rally of lieges has started though. We make quite a bit of cash, so we could return to this and get some berserkers, which we can't really train in many places yet. I mean, it's only 1, and it's only $100. But we're making 250 a woo! What are you doing? I've just abandoned the outpost. What? Why? And this dude's running over for a look. What are you looking at? Go away. This is my fight. This is my outpost. Okay. That's actually really annoying. I don't really want to lift the siege. And there's no one in here. But alright. Just run away. I just before I was saying there, oh, it never runs away. And then they ran away. Brilliant. Way to make me look like a fool in front of all my friends, AI. Anyway. Should we get the 3rd tier tower? No. Let's get blacksmith, a mint, and a mana obelisk. Bam, bam, bam. Cheap, good infrastructure in the city. Good buildings, I mean to say. don't really need much else here. We could get the extra siege slot in case we're going to be doing more sieging. Extra vision. Or I guess we could get the extra city. Scragheim over here for 560 Imperium. And a very happy blue face. We're just about to level up. I mean, I don't know. It's also nice to have a vassal, I think. I think it's unreasonable. Sol has sent a war party. Sol. Don't make me teach you a lesson, Sol. Actually, might not be a bad target for our armies. These guys have moved back into the outpost again after briefly stepping out for a turn to smell the roses, smell the haste berries, as it were. They've decided to come back in. Okay, that's fine. Do the old have a peek underground so the turn passes faster trick. And we've been briefly interrupted by an event. I don't have time for you. Get out of my way. We don't want Cog to leave our court. That's a terrible outcome. Draft is blocked. Or we lose. Yeah, draft is blocked. That's fine. I'm not really focused on training at the minute. Alright. It's time for the siege. And I think because this fight is relatively close... Aww. These guys are weak. We should jump in. And at the very least, take a look at Thalma, wagon her booty. Okay, so destroying the defenses did end up mattering, although I think we have, I mean, we at the very least have dragons who will be able to smash through it. But there are other options available to remove. I mean, so got these onages. Yeah! How do you like me now? Unfortunately, can't really do much with that at the minute. Let's have a look at our main people. Or our main gal. Oh, she's got so many abilities now. She'll just devour you whole, she'll heal. Okay, that's great. I mean, for the most part, I think some of these early moves can probably just be automated because most of the first turn is just doing stuff like this, right? Healing, shielding, moving into spots, defending. Fairly straightforward. Look at them all surround Thalma. My children! Come to me! Oh no, look out, kids. She's... No, it's fine. She's built a wall of little dragons around her. I love that. Go, Thalma! Look at that big poison breath. She jumped out from behind her little fledgling protectors to spray some poison across. And it's looking pretty good. We zoom out a little bit. We're fairly well clustered. And they don't really have power to stop us, I don't think. They do have quite a few units in and around there. But Thalma really likes it when units cluster together. I also think we should take a moment to appreciate this weird clustering of, like, pigs and slugs and stuff back here. This is our backup army. And they're helping, they're healing, they're shooting things, and they're protecting an onager. Meanwhile, Thalma sits here tanking just about every other thing. Oh, Thalma's Gorge just chomped a guy from full to nothing. That ability very strong, of course, for single target denial, for just wiping out one thing, and also lowering their morale. Thalma versus Noctis in an open field. What's she gonna do? She's like, nah, I don't want to bar you. I want to flick my tail at these people instead. I mean, this guy, at this point, I think is rather royally screwed. Yeah, royally screwed. They can't even flee at this point. It's just shot after shot. Poison breath through the wall. This one's done. And unfortunately, we did lose our tier 3 Frost Wyvern. Rip. Nearly lost a hero. Ooh, Cog, he came out with 1 HP, madman. But realistically, Bloodbath. A little bit of knowledge coming out of that too, thanks to that updated perk, which now gives 150 knowledge for destroying a hero. We'll capture this outpost. I was about to say, burn it to the ground, but we'll capture it because it is next to this shrine. And then, with Noctis down, but not yet out because of his capital, I wonder if we move through this underground passage and try and seize this while he's sort of distracted and weak. I mean, we've taken out most of the army, so I feel like that's just an opportunity ripe for the picking. I don't really want a pillaging upgrade. In fact, I don't really need any of these upgrades, at least not right now. Cities are still producing stuff. I don't think we need to be training military units in them just yet. So let's just make sure that everybody has enough food to keep people full. Maybe some wizard towers and whatnot for a bit of extra Imperium and stuff like that. Gorpit. People are very unhappy here. Let's quickly speed that along. Now it's dead even, so we can build the academy, get even more research. We're now nearly at 340. And then I guess we move towards either a magic or a domination victory. The magic victory is coming up as tracked for me at the moment, which must mean that I'm the closest one to it, or at least close to it myself. Domination is another option. And then of course there's expansion, but I don't think that we've really played an expansive game. Looking around this world, I mean, there's a lot of nothing, granted, but we're big, but we're not huge. Kind of like Thelma. We're big and big-brained, but little-legged. Okay. You all need to heal up for a little bit anyway. And actually, looking at that, we do need a couple of replacements, don't we? Because Thelma's a bit short. We're stuck, still trying to get Draconian transformation. Feels like an eternity ago. But we can train some young dragons. How to train a dragon. Okay, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 units queued up. Starting with a couple of baby dragons. Because why not? Also one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. Not in skill. That's probably just iconic from the TV show. Anyway, moving swiftly along from that tangential point. What is this? Get out of here, this is mine. He's mine. Oh wait. You don't really have a lot of strength at all. What, you're sending your pikemen out? What? Why? Unfortunately, we're really weak. All of our armies probably don't have enough combat strength to take out a Silver Wonder. I guess we could try and pull the best units into one place. Probably with Thelma. So she could take one of those. Get rid of a warrior. Perhaps take a war shaman. She's got those two baby things that are not especially good either. Everybody's just really low on health as well. That's the thing. So we might just have to rest on our laurels. Time for a tier 3 tome. I think we should go nature, given our strong focus into nature and the fact that we have the seed already online. So we can start to research things faster inside of this tree. Combine that with our powerful research, and we're looking very good. And actually, a Druid of the Cycle might be quite great. It's got that Blight synergy. It would also probably fill the void that I was just talking about sort of lacking units with power. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll take a tome that I don't often take, not necessarily because it's bad, the Tome of Cycles. And then we'll grab Druid of the Cycle to complete the set. Oh, and here it is, everybody. Draconian transformation to turn us into dragons. Finally, after about 1 million casting points, we did it. Draconian transformation, dragon type again for that rage extra damage when we're 60% or lower HP, natural regeneration for temporary or normal hit points on the world map, and immunity to burn. Please give me wings or something. Okay, yeah, it did. It does. Great. So we've got some cool draconic horns. Do dragons call them horns, or is that offensive to dragons? No, they're not horns, they're head wear, I don't know. But also, we get these kind of decrepit looking wings on the side of these guys. They're a little bit holy. But that's pretty cool. Because I didn't expect me to turn into a fully fledged dragon. Oh, and the spikes along the arms there too. That's a great touch. Oh, how good is that? Also, a significant buff to our strength in fights shouldn't be slept on. I wonder, with this army almost full, we could actually transfer. That's now at 800. Let's explore this. What do you got? 782. We could pay the penance, lose 300 gold. We're not condemned, and we enter the battle. That seems like a good idea. We're up against Tyrant Kings. Okay. I can just auto-resolve that now that we're dragons. Oh, yeah. Neat. What did we get? A Frost Great Axe. Okay, well, it's more money and it's more mana into the coffers. So, I'll take that reward. And another event. We receive Imperium. I was gonna say, that one axe feels like kind of a... I kind of got a bit shafted. But no, we get more. So, city stability is great. And loads of food. So we can grow a bit faster. Just double the Imperium. Double it and give it to the next guy. And then power through greed. No, we don't need money. Let's take the nature boon. That's what we do. Get the stability, get the growth. Gore Pit will be the rival of all cities across the land. Oh, and this dragon. Look at that. That's great. This is a cool DLC. Now that we've got our draconic transformation, I think our next step will be to end this war and focus on what our victory might be. At the moment, I'm leaning towards the magic victory. Domination, as I said earlier, also an option. But all of that will have to wait until next time. Thank you so much for joining Thelma and I today as we transformed our people through the draconic transformation, the major race transformation. And I'll see you next time for some more dragon action.